Okay, if you're the attacker, then this is your start phase, which is basically the time where you draw a card from the top of your deck and place it into your hand. But if you were the first player and it's your first turn, you cannot draw a card from the top of your deck because you have to skip your start phase. But if you are the second player and it's your first turn, you can actually draw a card from the top of your deck and put it into your hand. When you're the attacker and you already drew your card, you move down to the mission phase, where you can do 4 things. Deploy a ninja, play a mission card, charge chakra, and deploy a client. When you deploy a ninja, you can only deploy 1 ninja per turn, and you can only have 1 ninja in play with the same name. So, for this example, you can't have 2 Sasukes in your village at the same time. So you can only have 1, but if your opponent also has a Sasuke, that's completely fine, as long as you don't have 2 Sasukes in the village. Then when you're deploying a Sasuke, when you're deploying a ninja, the entrance cost has to be equal or less than your turn marker, and then if it has a hand cost, you have to take a card from your hand that shares the same symbol as the card you're about to deploy and place in your chakra area. If it has like a requirement also, that also has to be met in order for you to deploy it. When playing a mission card, it's basically the same thing, where you have to where the entrance cost has to be met and the hand cost has to be met. But then, once the effect is done, or you choose for it to be done, the mission card doesn't go to your discard pile, it goes to your chakra area instead. Then when deploying a client, it can't have the same name, like a ninja, and the entrance and hand cost has to be met. But it's not treated like ninjas, where ninjas are going to be here in the battlefield. Client cards are going to be here back here in the village, where they're going to be treated like mission cards, where they're just there for like added effects. Then when charging chakra, you can basically charge as much chakra from your hand and put it into your chakra area, like so. This is basically done if you're like preparing to play any jutsus during the battle phase. But whatever you put into your chakra area, you cannot take it back or use it any time later. Also, chakra can be charged like multiple times during this phase only, where I can like deploy a ninja, then place a chakra, then I can put a client and place another chakra, examples like that. Then we'll see what happens when you're the blocker. When you're the blocker and it's the mission phase, you can only do one thing, and it's play a counter mission card. A counter mission card is going to appear like a mission card like this, but above the effect is going to be the word counter right above it. You can only play a counter if the entrance cost is met and the hand cost is met, and when your opponent plays a mission card first. So the opponent's mission card will start first, and then in the chain your effect will start second. Then we'll go to organization phase. During the organization phase, the attacker has the choice to team up their ninjas to create a bigger power when they're being sent out to battle. Basically, a team is a combination of 1 to 3 ninjas where their power will be combined when they're sent out to battle. During the organization phase, you can organize your ninjas basically each turn. Like, say I want to have only this team instead and just leave him behind to make another team. but you can only organize your ninjas during this phase. So if you send them out to battle and then they come back all healthy, you can't just say, oh, I want to put Sasuke right here again. No, you have to wait till your next turn for that to happen. Before we move on to the battle phase, I have to teach you how to calculate a team's power. After you've organized a team, out of the ninjas you selected, one of them will have to be the head ninja. When one of the cards is going to be a head ninja, the number to the left of the symbol in the power is going to be used, and any support ninjas, if you have any, the symbol to the right is going to be used in the power. Then when calculating it, you take the head ninja's combat value and the support ninja's support values and add them up together. Then when you're the attacker, during the battle phase, you can send up to 3 teams into battle, and you can put them into the battlefield. When you're the blocker and your attacker already sends his teams into the battlefield, this is the time where you get to choose which teams to send out to block it. But when sending out a team to block, you can only send out one team to block another team. Then we'll move on to the exchange of jutsu, showdown, and return. During the exchange of jutsu, this is the time where jutsu cards are going to be played to alter the outcome of a battle. When starting with the attacker, players alternate playing jutsu cards, and if a player chooses not to play a jutsu card, then the other player gets a chance to play one. But once players are done playing their jutsus, then the exchange of jutsu is done. When playing a jutsu, you announce and reveal the card, and choose one of the ninjas on the battlefield to become the user of a jutsu. Like if I was to choose the jutsu card Amaterasu, and I say I choose Kakashi Hatake to use this jutsu. Then you pay the jutsu cost by moving the cards from your chakra area to the discard pile, and once that jutsu's been played, your opponent gets like the chance to put down another jutsu card to counteract it. So say this is the blocker, which he puts Sharingan activated, and he chooses Itachi Uchiha, so that's another card. But then the attacker chooses to put Lightning Blade and chooses Kakashi Hatake again. Then when resolving the chain, and this is like everything is done, there's no more jutsus going to be played, whatever card is on top is going to be basically the first one. Whichever is last is going to be the first one activated. So we activate Lightning Blade, which says the target gets minus 10 combat, and he chooses a Surapath, but then Sharingan activated, which says it can negate like one of the jutsu cards being played. Then Amaterasu is activated. So basically, once Sharingan activate negates this one, but Lightning Blade is still in play. If I can get the card. And then we go down to the showdown. Whatever happened in the exchange of jutsu still applies. So a Surapath is basically -2 or -2. And this leaves the team power to become 3, and this leads it to become 9, 10, 11. Basically, if a team is not blocked, and you already added like the team power, if you have 4, like if it has a team power of 4 or less, then the team wins 1 battle reward, which a battle reward is the top card of your opponent's deck is moved to your battle reward area. If the team power is 5 or more, then you win an outstanding battle reward, which is the top 2 cards of your opponent's deck moves to your battle rewards area. But then if the team is blocked, just like these, then you calculate the team's power. If the difference is between like 4 or less, then it's only a victory, and the victory just means the head ninja is injured only. But then if the difference is 5 or more, then it's an outstanding victory, where this one takes 2 damage and the others in the support team receive 1 damage. When explaining damage, basically if one ninja receives 1 damage, it's going to be turned sideways in injured status, where this will be the combat power. And if any effects are in here, if it says it's not valid, then the effect cannot be used. But then once a ninja receives 2 damages, it goes into your discard pile. So if an outstanding victory says 2 damages to the head ninja, it goes to your discard pile, while the backup ninjas or the support ninjas are going to be in injured status. Then once the whole battle phase is done, you just return the ninjas back into your own village. After the battle phase, you move down to the end phase, where you see if any player has reached a victory condition. The victory conditions of this game is if a player has 10 or more battle rewards, then they win the game. But if both players achieve it at the same time, then whoever's the attacker wins. But if like a player loses, like has no cards in their deck, then the player loses the game. If both players have no cards in their deck, then whoever is the attacker loses the game. If neither player has like reached any of the victory conditions, then just continue to play. Then whoever is the attacker adjusts their hand size. If you're the attacker and you have 7 or more cards in your hand, then you must discard that many cards from your hand until you have 6 cards. Then once you're done, the attacker moves their turn marker up, and then any effects that last for this turn stops right here. Then the attacker's turn is over, and then it's the blocker's turn, where whoever was the attacker last becomes the blocker, who was the blocker before becomes the attacker. And you just keep doing this until one of you actually win. Okay guys, this marks the end of the Naruto CCG basic tutorial. If you want to see part 1, click the annotation above, and if you want to see the advanced video, click the annotation below. Like and post any questions down in the comments or by private messaging me. And also check out my eBay channel, which is Mr. Crazy for Cards, where I'll be selling cards, of course. And I'll soon be posting merchandise videos so you have a better look at my collection. Other than that, have a nice day.